how to get free internet. Something is missing. Oh yes, forever. Why is it not working? If you're a young African, you must have Googled how to get free internet. I have myself, countless times by the way. The question is, why do we do this? Well, I'm sure the answer to that is obvious by now. It's as a result of internet being so expensive. Well, the truth is, internet is actually expensive for the poor than the rich or middle class. By this, I don't mean internet is expensive for the poor because the poor don't have money. I mean, internet actually costs more for the poor than the rich in the same country. You don't understand this, right? Well, don't worry. You get to understand it when we get into the video. It's Yusidams here. You're welcome to today's episode. This video is an answer to the question, why is internet so expensive in Africa from a Ghanaian perspective? If you've been here before and you didn't subscribe, or this is your first time here in my channel, click the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and also turn on the post notification to get weekly updates of my videos. Straight into the video. Taking Ghana as a whole, internet is expensive when compared to nations like the US, where AT&T offers internet with speed ranging from 10 to 100 megabits per second for 1 month with a data cap of 1 terabyte at a price of $40. This sounds cheap, right? Well, take another example, South Korea, where they offer the cheapest internet rate with speed of up to 1 gigabit per second, an unlimited data cap for a price of just $20. You might not understand these terms. Well, let me put them in relatable forms. The US scenario, bringing it down to Ghanaian perspective, you'll be paying 200 cedis for 1 terabyte of data. If you don't understand what 1 terabyte of data is, that's 1000 gigabytes. Yes, gigabytes. And that you get it for 1 month. And the speed is 10 times MTN average speed here in Ghana. Well, now you understand it when I say it is actually cheap. Well, take the cheaper one, which is South Korea, where the speed is up to 100 times MTN speed here in Ghana at a price of 100 cedis with unlimited data. Unlimited, there's no gigabytes, use as much as you want. Now you get it when I say internet is expensive in Africa, or Ghana specifically. You see, unlimited internet in Ghana is only for businesses unless you are willing to pay the huge price for your home. It's not actually meant for home use or individual use. I mentioned earlier that internet is expensive for the poor than the rich. Let me elaborate on that. You see, for this example, I'll be using MTN to depict what I'm trying to explain. In Ghana, a poor man gets access to internet using a SIM card, and on an MTN SIM card, for 120 cedis, you get internet of 10 gigabytes of data. A rich man living in areas with fiber broadband support can get, for that 120 cedis, internet of up to 45 gigabytes of data with speed which is 6 times the speed a poor man would get. Although he has to pay 150 cedis for installation of the fiber broadband, which is just once. He pays it once and then every month he pays 120 cedis. Even if you add the 120 and the 150 and double the amount the poor man is paying, it's not even comparable. So do the maths. Who is paying more here? This is so because a poor man cannot afford to live in areas with fiber broadband support. And also, internet service providers like MTN don't actually target the poor, they actually target the rich. Well, enough of that. Let's get to understand why internet is expensive in Africa. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Your ISP is responsible for providing internet in your particular country. One thing you may not know is that the ISPs are also one of the reasons why internet is expensive in Ghana. The major ISPs in Ghana include MTN, Airtel, Vodafone, Glo, and Surfline. They make internet expensive to recuperate the amount they spent on or to pay for infrastructure necessary for providing internet. While this is reasonable, it's not actually worth making internet expensive. We have other countries where they also maintain their infrastructure, but still, internet is cheap. They also consider the taxes they pay. And also, they make internet expensive to make profits because that is why they're in business anyways. One thing to note is that they don't actually spend much on the actual transmission of data. Now, I hope you are aware of one of the reasons why internet is expensive. So if we are to fix the problem of expensive internet, these are the parts we have to start from. The saying goes, competition is always great for consumers. Competition is one of the reasons why internet is expensive in Ghana. Let me explain why. In Ghana, we don't have many ISPs, and for this reason, there is low competition in the internet service provision sector. Vodafone has cheaper internet rates when compared to MTN, but MTN is still preferred to Vodafone or any other network. Why is this so? This is because MTN has faster speeds and wider coverage across Ghana. And for this reason, MTN can still keep their internet expensive because they know people will still use MTN because of their speed. If Vodafone was competitive in speed and not quantity, then we would have cheaper internet rates. People would prefer using Vodafone, and this would result in MTN making their internet rate cheaper. The government are also one of the reasons why internet is expensive in Ghana. It's either the government demand huge taxes from ISPs I mentioned earlier, or they don't actually control the amount these ISPs demand from the consumers. By consumers, I'm referring to internet users. The truth is, the governments don't actually see internet as expensive, and this is because they actually stay in those areas I mentioned earlier that have fiber broadband support, and that is why the internet is still expensive in Ghana. Until the government see this as a problem, it won't actually be fixed. That's all for today. If you have other answers to the question, why is internet expensive in Africa? Leave them in the comment section. If you like this video, click the like button. Remember, exploration is key to discovery. The more you explore, the more you discover. Don't forget to follow me on other social media. See you in my next video. Ciao.